Yo, what's up everybody, it's your boy Denzel back with another video. You know I keep it real with you guys, and today is no different. We're talking about culture shock, specifically the stuff that throws you for a loop when you're a foreign dude living in the Philippines with your Filipino partner. Look, I'm not here to throw shade or anything, it's all love, but let's be real, sometimes those cultural differences hit you like a jeepney swerving through traffic. So if you're out there dating a Filipina, planning to, or just curious about what goes down when worlds collide, then buckle up because things are about to get real. Alright, first up, let's talk about time. Now, I'm from Munich, Germany, right? We're all about that punctuality, that precision. Time is everything, every second counts, you feel me? But here in the Philippines, it's like time moves differently. It's chill, it's relaxed, which is cool, don't get me wrong, but when you're trying to make plans, meet up with friends, it can be a trip. You call your girl, babe, you ready? We gotta leave in 10. And she's like, relax, babe, island time. And you're like, island time? The restaurant is gonna give away our table, island time or not. You gotta learn to chill a little, embrace the flow, but also be like, hey, some things we gotta be on point for, you know? Okay, so this one ties in with the whole time thing, but it deserves its own chapter. Procrastination. It's an art form here, I swear. And again, no disrespect, but man, sometimes it drives you up the wall. You need to get something done, something important. And it's like pulling teeth to get everyone on board. Deadlines? What are deadlines? Tomorrow is another day, right? And then tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into, oh, we'll get to it eventually. It's like this relaxed attitude towards getting things done, and it's something you really have to adjust to. But let me tell you, it's a process, man. Alright, so we've tackled time, we've tackled procrastination, now let's talk about urgency, or the lack thereof. In a lot of Western cultures there's this sense of urgency, this need to get things done right away. But here, it's just different. It's more about taking things slow, not stressing too much. Which, again, can be a good thing. It's nice to not be constantly rushing around. But there are times when you need that sense of urgency, you know? Like, if something breaks, you want it fixed ASAP, right? But here it's like, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's all about perspective, I guess. Now, this one's a little sensitive, but we gotta keep it real, right? Family is everything here, and that's beautiful, I respect that. But sometimes when you're dating a Filipina with kids, you gotta navigate this dynamic where her kids can do no wrong. You try to set a boundary, you try to say, hey, that's not cool, and it's like you're speaking another language. It's mama bear mode activated, and you're the outsider. Okay, this one might seem small, but it's something I've noticed. There's this tendency to just accept things as they are, even if they're clearly broken or damaged. Like you go to a restaurant and the chair is wobbly, or the aircon is dripping and nobody bats an eye. I get it, things are expensive, you don't want to waste money, but sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself, you gotta demand better quality, you know? Alright fellas, let's talk about window shopping. Now, I'm all for a good stroll through the mall, but here's the thing, window shopping in the Philippines is next level. It's an event, a sport, a test of your patience. You go to the mall with a purpose, you need a specific thing. But before you can even get there, you've been dragged into every store, shown every item, asked your opinion on a million different things. By the time you actually buy something, you're exhausted, man. Family is everything here, I get it. But sometimes, that family bond can feel like a never-ending phone call. It's like every day there's a family meeting happening through the phone, and your girl is glued to it. You try to have a conversation, you try to get her attention, but it's like you don't even exist. This one's a personal pet peeve, I'll admit it, sleeping with the lights on. Now, I'm a light sleeper as it is, I need darkness to drift off. But in the Philippines, it's like the fear of the dark is real, man. You try to explain, babe, I can't sleep with the lights on, and it's like you're asking her to fight a monster under the bed. Okay, so Filipinos are sentimental, I get it. They like to hold on to things, memories, objects, but sometimes that sentimentality turns into hoarding, and that's where I draw the line. You got broken appliances, old clothes, boxes of junk from who knows when, all piled up in the corner. It's a constant battle between wanting a clean, minimalist space and respecting their attachment to things. Alright, this one's a modern-day struggle. We live in a digital world, right? Phones, laptops, tablets, we rely on these things. But here's the thing. Filipinos are notorious for letting their batteries die. You're trying to make plans, you need to get in touch, and bam! Sorry, low bat. Communication is key in any relationship, but when you throw in cultural differences, it can feel like you're speaking different languages. Filipinos are often indirect with their communication, relying on hints, nonverbal cues, and avoiding confrontation. You're used to saying what you mean, being direct, getting to the point, but here, it's all about reading between the lines, understanding the unspoken messages. Now this one's a big one for me. I'm a New Yorker, we value our personal space. But in the Philippines, it's all about closeness, physical touch, being affectionate. People are always hugging, kissing, holding hands, and for someone who values their personal bubble, it can be overwhelming. It's a constant dance, finding that balance between respecting their culture and setting boundaries that work for you. In Western cultures, independence is often valued. We're taught to be self-sufficient, to stand on our own 2 feet. But in the Philippines, there's a strong emphasis on family and togetherness. It's about finding that balance between maintaining your independence while also nurturing that sense of togetherness that's so important here. Finances, the root of all evil, right? Well, maybe not all evil, but definitely a source of tension in many relationships. And when you throw in cultural differences, things can get complicated. In the Philippines, there's a strong sense of family obligation. It's common for people to send money back home to support their families, which is admirable. Filipinos are known for their hospitality and love of socializing. There's always a party, a fiesta, a gathering happening somewhere. And if you're someone who enjoys their quiet time, it can be a lot to handle. It's about finding that balance between respecting their social customs and setting boundaries that work for you. Work-life balance, it's a struggle for everyone, right? But in the Philippines, the lines between work and personal life can be blurred. It's common for people to work long hours to be constantly connected to their jobs. You might prioritize your career, putting in extra hours, striving for success, but that can be seen as neglecting your family, not valuing their time. Gender roles are shifting all over the world, but in the Philippines, traditional expectations still hold strong. Men are often seen as the providers, the protectors, the decision-makers. Women are expected to be nurturing, domestic, submissive. You might have more progressive views on gender roles, believing in equality and shared responsibilities. It's about having open communication, respecting each other's perspectives, and finding a compromise that works for both of you. Food is a big part of any culture, and the Philippines is no exception. Filipino cuisine is delicious, flavorful, and often involves a lot of meat, seafood, and rice. But if you have different dietary preferences, it can be a challenge. It's about communicating your dietary restrictions clearly and being respectful of each other's food choices. Filipinos love a good celebration, and there's always something to celebrate. From fiestas to birthdays to religious holidays, the calendar is packed with events. And while it's great to experience the vibrant culture, it can be overwhelming for someone who's used to a more low-key approach. It's about finding that balance between embracing their festive spirit and setting boundaries that work for you. Humor is a great way to connect with people, but it can also be a minefield in intercultural relationships. What's funny in one culture might be offensive or confusing in another. And when you're trying to make someone laugh, the last thing you want is to offend them. It's about being mindful of cultural differences, paying attention to your partner's reactions, and being willing to explain your humor if needed. So there you have it, guys. A glimpse into the wild and wonderful world of dating and living with a Filipina partner. It's an adventure, that's for sure. Full of love, laughter, and a whole lot of cultural adjustments. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Have you experienced any of these cultural shocks? Any tips for surviving the cultural roller coaster? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.